I am so excited to film this video. I don't know why I'm like cheesing so hard. It's a productivity video, but I actually feel like I have a really good idea of what I want to do with my life because of this video and because of the 5 tips. Do you know how difficult that is for a millennial? I'm literally 30 this year. I was having a millennial life crisis up until today, basically. And there are some tools that you do not need to miss out on, honest to God. So please make sure you're subscribed and let's get into the very first one. Okay, so when I was seeing my therapist, we love Edward. Shout out to Edward. My man is not gonna be watching this video, but my therapist, Edward, gave me the best advice when I was seeing him. I basically sat in his chair and I was like, Edward, I feel like I have so much time in the day at the time, but I feel like I'm not productive. I don't have any motivation. I have no idea what I want to do, and I'm not taking advantage of my day. Help me, for the love of God. He basically was like, get a calendar and make sure it is an hourly calendar where every single hour you are accounting for. So I was looking online and I was like, okay, let me just order like an hourly calendar from Golden Coil, which is a website. So I did that and I was accountable on the calendar for a little bit. Great. Then I moved on to Google Calendar and that was great for a little bit, but I didn't really stick to it. So then I just moved forward. Then I used iCalendar and that was okay, but I just like really didn't use it that much and I just kind of gave up on that. So the other night, I went over to my boyfriend's house. This is turning into like such a long saga for number 1, but I swear to God, it is so useful. Anyway, the other night, he pulled out this huge dry erase board. If he's okay with it, here's a photo of him doing it. He was just like, we were just kind of like, it was like late at night. He was just making notes of every single thing he wanted to accomplish the following day. Hourly. The idea of doing it the day before is so incredible. One, because you have less anxiety of like, okay, what am I gonna do tomorrow? And it's gonna be organized by hours. So immediately upon waking up, you know exactly what tasks you need to do. So I basically have been making all of my to-do lists on Notion. This website has actually changed my life. And I'm happy to say it, it's not sponsored. I wish it was. Do you know how life-changing that would be? And my channel should just be called Naturally Notion. Anyway, when I got my office job and my manager was teaching me truly anything, I was like, holy crap, I need to write this information down somewhere. So I first started off with creating a folder for my company name. And then in the folder, I would have like pages where I would just take notes and notes and notes. That was the biggest lifesaver, is like I had a place where all of my handwritten notes would go. My manager these days will say, hey Negeen, can you do this? And I'll go refer to the notes that I took on like day 1 of my job and be like, oh, absolutely, because I completely forgot. I don't know why, and I may have some Alzheimer's coming up soon, but who knows? That's beside the point. I feel like being able to go back to notes that you've taken is so important. So that topic aside, on number 2 in Notion, another amazing way that I really utilize this website is I absolutely organize everything else other than my work in there. Video ideas, content planner ideas. If you guys want me to make a full in-depth video on how I even use my Notion and how I organize it, let me know, because maybe I can just give you guys like a free template. Like, look how cute all of this is. Like, these are things that I've organized, especially with like business ideas that come up for me. I love planning them out completely. Like, I have my consulting business ideas, I have a podcast business idea. Like, there are just so many ideas that I've had, and instead of before when I would get really overwhelmed, I now know where can I put all these ideas and how can I organize it and how can I actually start achieving it and crossing it off my list. So Notion has been an incredible website for me. Now, if you are not familiar with Notion, it is a little overwhelming. So much so that one night my boyfriend came over and we like sat in my bedroom because my desk is in there, and I gave him like a full-on tutorial like how I'm talking to you. I was like, this is how you use this is how you use that, this is what you can do here, and how cool is this? You can add an emoji, and it was like really cute. So I can do that for you guys. The AI feature of Notion is also such a really cool brand new tool that they implemented, and I've been using it every so often, especially when I need help with like structuring out an idea. I absolutely love it. So comment down below if that's something that you want me to go a little bit more in depth on when it comes to Notion and functionality. We have a lot of distractions in our day-to-day, whether you're at the office, whether you work from home, or whatever it is, I feel like things will come up and then maybe it'll just completely crush your mood, or like you get a text from a boss and you're just kind of like, oh my God, I can't add this onto my plate. The best way to overcome work anxiety or to-do anxiety or even personal dreams, like where you feel like you don't even have enough time to even daydream about creative ideas, this tool is going to be great because all you really have to do is set boundaries with yourself and what you're trying to accomplish. This one is called deep focus work. I find that happens a lot, especially when there's not a lot of consistency in your day. There is a really cool website app called Toggle, and it's spelled Toggl. The way that I found out about this was when I was working a job, I go to one of my bosses and I was like, hey, I feel like I'm spending so much time giving clients these feedbacks, but it's taking forever. And she was like, how much time are you spending on this? And I was like an hour. She's like, it shouldn't be taking you that long. Get this app and track yourself and start seeing how long it's taking you to accomplish work. And I was like, shoot, okay. So it kind of felt like micromanaging for a second, but the awareness was amazing because I knew, okay, if I'm being timed on how long it's taking me to accomplish work, that means I need to get rid of any distraction. I can't be on my phone, going on YouTube. Like, I truly have to focus on this time while this little timer is going off. And it ended up cutting the time in half. So with this tip, in order to be successful, like I'll say it, you have to set boundaries with yourself and with the work that you're doing, right? So if you're gonna set aside 1 hour, make a timer and work within that hour, try not to be distracted. Set whatever, there are so many websites where you can block Facebook or whatever, but I feel like if you're just a little bit tougher on yourself, you won't need those external things to prevent you and lock your screen, right? Like I feel like if you just set that boundary and you just set a timer at the very least, you should be good to go. Oh my gosh, number 4, holy moly. Listen, AI is becoming a thing. So whether you're going with the wave or not, this tip is gonna be incredible. And honestly, if you want me to make a whole video dedicated to AI productivity, oh my God, I'm gonna love making that video. So comment below and let me know. But for this one, number 4 is utilizing AI, in particular, one of the apps that I'm gonna be talking about, and that is Compose AI. It's not ChatGPT, but it is like a sister to ChatGPT, I think. So basically, Compose AI is a Google Chrome extension that you can get. And basically, when you download it, it shows up at the top of your browser. And I love to use this for my emails. So for example, the other day, I really needed to write an email to a brand that I worked with because I wanted to see if I could work with them again. It was a rude awakening because they said no. But aside from that, my email I'm like not selling it because like whatever. So you can use Compose AI for literally anything. For example, let's say that you want to thank a job for interviewing you for a position. So you would say, write an email to Sarah saying thank you for interviewing me for a marketing coordinator role at the company and how you are so grateful and hope that you get the job. And look, it's literally drafting up that entire email. If I can be honest with you, please, review the email and don't just click send. Making it have like a good tone to it is really important, especially your tone of voice. And I think that's like my best tip when it comes to like AI productivity hacks is use it. Like use how it can help you, but to an extent. How can you as a human add in emotion and empathy and depth to a robotic answer? Oh my God, should I like go and get my master's? No, I'm just kidding. And number 5 is focused environment. So I feel like a lot of us have very different ways to get in the zone, but the way to know how to get into the zone is really important. And I feel like not a lot of people may have that created. I feel like there's 2 types of people, right? There's one type of person who focuses with music and another that focuses in silence. I basically created a Spotify playlist specifically for me to get into the zone. So this is like piano music, but I know that Spotify has a lot of like, if you just type in focus, like a lot of playlists will come up. But I think it may hit harder for you if you are creating the focus playlist. Maybe it's motivational music that like really gets you like, you know what, F all of this. Like, I don't need anyone. I'm gonna become a billionaire. Or maybe it's piano music like me, where I really am just like super focused. Anytime I listen to this playlist, I know that I'm gonna be introspective and focusing and nothing else matters. I also really like to do all of this post shower. So I have like a little focus routine where it's like, I take a shower, I make sure that I'm not hungry, I have tea next to me, my home is clean. I know it's a lot, but like these things really help me get into the zone. And maybe having like mood lighting really helps me just kind of like zen out and let the ideas flow in. So I think for you, what you should do is find out how can you create an environment where you can thrive and focus when you really need to. That is the best tip I can give you, because you are so different than me and through your friends and your family. Like, you need to find your own kind of routine. You know how like people have a self-soothing routine? If you don't know what that is, I made a video on it where you like try to make yourself feel better with like tools that will help you in particular. This is kind of like the same, but it's kind of like you have to start taking note of like, when do you get into focus mode? Like, is it in the mornings, like after coffee? Or are you like my friend Shireen, who like gets really, really focused at like 10 p.m. or 12 p.m. at night? So it's just so interesting. Like, people are so fascinating, and I love to hear about how everyone has kind of like their own tips and tricks. Did you like this? And if you did, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up if you want me to make a part 2, or if you want that AI, like fully productivity AI free plugins or whatever. Comment it below so I know I can make that. And thank you guys so much. This was so fun. I didn't know I would be so excited to talk about these topics, but they really are helping me so much. So let me know, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.